what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to talk all about the makeup that I regret buying. So let's get into it. Alright guys, so last week I saw a video from Soph Does Life where she does a video on all the makeup that she regrets buying, and I was like, shit, that's a really good idea because there's quite a few makeup products that I do regret buying. Unfortunately, the ones that I do regret buying, I tossed out and I moved into this new apartment and I redid my whole beauty room, so I got rid of a lot of products, but there's still some left that I was like, I could do a video on this too. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump on into this. I do wanna go ahead and say that just because these products did not work for me and I do not like them does not mean they won't work for you and that it should sway your opinion anyway whatsoever. You guys are more than welcome to still like the products even if I don't like them myself. These are just my personal preferences and why I don't like them, but that doesn't have to sway your opinion, and your opinion on them still really matters. All right, so the first product we're gonna jump into is this Japonesque Primer right here, Japonesque. So about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe even longer, Chris and Dominique did a review and she was trying out this primer and she said this primer was like her holy grail primer. She loved it more than anything, thought it was amazing, and I was like, well, I have to buy it because I have to give it a try. Now at that time I was still really new to makeup. I wore a lot of makeup but I didn't really wear that much primer, so I was really invested into this, wanted to give it a try, and I was like, okay, hopefully this will work well for me. But little did I know I was buying a product that wasn't geared towards oily skin because I was still very new. I didn't understand it, so I bought this, gave it a couple of tries, and at first my skin looked great, but then over time I was like, damn, my skin just looks like butt shit and it looked bad. So I was like, this isn't for me. This product isn't for me, and I spent quite a pretty penny on this. It's actually one of my first like major purchases for myself. I remember sitting in my very old apartment with Corey. I remember sitting in my bedroom with my little nightstand, putting on like my little mirror, trying it out, thinking I was like this cute little like beauty guru, really wanted to get into makeup, and I tried this and it just something that did not work for me, and I was very disappointed. I don't know why I never returned it and why I never got rid of it. I think the reason why I didn't get rid of it is because I just have like such a small attachment to it. Like, it's one of my first major products that I bought from an influencer, and I was so proud of it, and yeah. You can see you got great usage out of it. The next product, surprisingly enough, is from Tatcha. Now this is the silk canvas right here. So many people raved about how amazing this primer was. Now I have tried this primer time and time again, and I know so many people out there love it. I just can't get into it. I think the reason why, maybe it's just overhyped, I'm not entirely sure, but this was such an expensive primer. I think, what, close to like 50 bucks. I don't remember what I spent on this. All I know is I tried it out. I did a review on this. I forgot to use this little scoopy thing, which some amazing people that were hating on me in that video told me, you didn't do it right. You didn't put the scoopy thing on. And you know what? They were right. I didn't do it right because I didn't know what I was doing. And it's just, it's not worth it. To me, it's just not worth it. It's just the same as the e.l.f. Putty Primer right there. That's an $8 primer versus like what, this $50, $60 primer right here. Both have the same payout. Both not really worth it to me. It may fill in my pores just a little bit, but do I get oily throughout the day? Oh. I do. Now, it's really hard for me to find a primer that works really well for my oily skin. I think just because I live here in Florida, you have the heat, humidity, you sweat, I produce so much oil that it's really hard for me to find a product that works best for me. So far, the one that I freaking love more than anything, surprisingly enough, is my Becca Evermatte Poreless Primer. That does a great job of holding back my oil. So does my June & Co. Miracle Moonshine Cream Primer. Those are two amazing primers that do such a good job at locking in and making it really mattified. So I really love those two. But these two right here, I invested so much into it and I just didn't get the payoff that I was looking for. I was like, damn it. The next one is from Hourglass. This is the Veil Primer right here. Now this little bad boy retails for $21. I got the small size because I wasn't sure how this primer was going to work for me. And thank God I did. Because again, I do not like it. It just doesn't do what I want it to do. And my skin may look great at first, but you give it a couple hours and it really presents itself in how the product performs, at least for my skin. It just did not do a good job. I got this at the same time that I got the Hourglass Vanish Stick Foundation. I hated that foundation. I remember going out to lunch with my friend Amanda, and she looked at my skin and she's like, ew, like what's on your face? Like, no offense, I'm not trying to sound mean to you, but your foundation looks horrible. And I was like, no, thank you so much for telling me because I'm trying it out. And these two just, it was just not a good thing. And why I'm holding on to this, I think it's just because it's a peach. I think I'm holding on to this because it's a piece of luxury that I was like, but maybe just like for first initial application, it's great, but afterwards, no. The next product we have is from Morphe. This is the Fluidity Foundation right here. This is a full coverage foundation, and I got this because so many people raved about this. They raved about how amazing this foundation was, and I did a video on this long ago. I wore this to work and I was almost in tears fighting my shift because my skin looked so horrible. The foundation was separating. I was getting really red and blotchy where my skin was starting to peach through, and it just looked so bad. It just was the worst looking foundation. I hated it. I didn't want to blot my face with it because I really wanted to show you guys what my skin looked like without doing any sort of touch-up. So I left it the way it was, and it was just absolutely horrible. And I know some people at first raved about this, but then when they actually really gave it a shot, they said this is the worst foundation. The only person who's been able to make this foundation work for them is my friend Mikey. He's been able to make this foundation work, which I think is amazing. But this was just horrible. So horrible. Next product is from MAC. This is the Studio Fix Plus Fluid Foundation. Now, my very first YouTube video, I don't count the freaking Kylie Cosmetics that I have on there. That was like really embarrassing with that video. And why it's getting views, I don't know. Stop watching it. But I actually, in my very first YouTube video, I did a recreation of Robbie Chrissy in one of her makeup looks, and she used this foundation, and she said that this was the most amazing foundation. I actually have the exact same shade where I do NW15, and it matches me so well. But she talks about how beautiful her skin looked, how amazing it looked on her skin all day, and I didn't really realize at the time how dry her skin was, so it's why her skin looks so beautiful. Again, I have very oily skin, and it's supposed to work with your oily skin, but it did not. It looked so bad. I actually used this in a video a long time ago where I did a video of full products that I hate, whatever you want to call it, full face of makeup products that I hate, which I could do that again if you guys want me to. I could do it if you guys want me to use these products in this video, but I can't get into this. It sucks. It sucks. The next product is again from Morphe. This is the concealer right here, and I know that Jaclyn Hill raves about this particular concealer, says how good it is. I think the reason why I'm not the biggest fan of it because I tried it with my foundation and they just both looked really horrible. And for the price point, I really love like my ColourPop No Filter concealer. I really like the Shape Tape concealer. I also really enjoy the Revlon Candid concealer. That's why I didn't really care for this one too much. But a lot of times when I'm just on my days off and I don't really want to do a full face of makeup, I actually don't really wear concealer that often. I'm wearing it today, but normally I don't always wear concealer. So this one is something that I tried one time and I never picked back up since. Ever. The next product is from e.l.f. This is the HD Mattifying Bomb. I got this to give it a try to see how well it does at like mattifying your face. I'm very sorry if you guys hear noises in the background. It's Wednesday, it's lawn day, and they're here all day. So, and every Wednesday it tends to really rain for hours and hours. So if they stop what they're doing and they come back, they'll be here till like 6 o'clock at night, I swear to God. But anyway, so this is the Mattifying Bomb. I gave this a try several times, and I just don't really notice a difference with my skin whenever I wear this. It just doesn't mattify my skin. Doesn't really fill the pores in. It wasn't that much a price point wise, so I didn't really waste any money, but it's just something that just, no. Pass. The next product, surprisingly enough, that I thought was kind of a waste of money is my Tati Blindifuls right here. I did a review on these, and I thought these were horrible for foundations. I did a full face of this because I really wanted to give these a go. Now, I really enjoyed this little bouncer one right here when it comes to putting on like my P. Louise setting base for my eyes, and I blend it out with this. I feel like that's the only purpose that I use this for. This right here, I've only really ever used it or reached for it if I'm trying to do like any sort of setting powder. Applying it with like foundation, with concealer, with bronzer, with blush, it is just so horrible. I do not like this at all. I think it makes my foundation look really streaky. It looks really patchy. It just, I'm not a fan of this whatsoever. And it was, thank God it wasn't that much. It was $18, but definitely not worth the price point to me. Definitely not worth the investment. And I think it's cool that she tried something, but no, I'm pass on this one. The next product, surprisingly enough, is my Cover FX Perfecting Face Palette. Now, I did receive this in a BoxyCharm long ago, but I actually gave it away, so I wanted to retry it, so I purchased it myself. I really wish I never would have purchased it. I bought it, tried it, did not care for it. I've tried it once. There's nothing wrong with this whatsoever. It's just I literally tried it once and I never reached for it again. I just did something that did not appeal to me. And I was kind of mad at myself for giving it away and then going, shit, I shouldn't have done that, and then repurchasing it. I wish I never repurchased it whatsoever. It's just a huge waste of money in my opinion. And it's something that I've, like I said, only tried once and then I never reached for it again. Yeah, that's the only reason why I don't care for it. I don't really have any bronzers or blushes that I purchase and don't really care for, so I don't have anything to include in that. Same with brow products. For highlighters, nothing wrong with these highlighters, but it is the Maybelline Master Chrome Face Studio right here. Now these are some amazing highlighters for drugstore. Unfortunately, I bought these and then I started to try dipping my hands into like higher end brands. Like right after I got these, I got the ABH Cosmetics Amorisi highlight. I got the Fenty Beauty highlight, and I thought those highlights work so beautifully. They look so gorgeous on the skin. Like your skin looks like glass. It lasts all day. And with these, my highlighters start to dull out throughout the day. Now these are really pretty upon application, but after that, they just kind of like settled into the skin. They sort of disappeared into the oil. So as much as like great where these were at the time, I haven't reached for them ever since. All right, so the next product is from Urban Decay. It's the Eyeshadow Priming Potion Anti-Aging. Everybody was so obsessed with these years ago. This was like such a hit. It was always sold out at Ulta anytime I went. And then when I was there, I think it was last Black Friday or the Black Friday prior to that, it was on sale for $10. And I tell you what, they could not keep this bad boy in stock whatsoever. But I got my hands on it. I tried it and I was like, what is the big deal about this? I did not understand the big hype about this. I still don't understand the big hype about this. It works the same exact way as a concealer does. I definitely think it's overpriced, something I never really go for ever because I use my concealer or my P. Louise setting base. There's so many other better products out there than this particular product. Plus, I feel like my shadows got super oily with this, like super, super oily. So big pass on this one. The next product is from Tati Blends, and this is their Mist Butterfly Tea Toner. I got this when I was I don't want to say it was affiliate, but when I had a discount code with Tati Blends. I don't know if I still do. They reach out to me all the time to promote sales, and I just completely ignored them because I just don't care for them anymore. And the reason I don't care for them is because they promised me, like literally handwritten emails, that they were going to promote me on their page. All I have to do was talk about their products, try the teas. Now their teas are fantastic, but they were going to always promote me, and I asked them like, hey, you guys haven't done anything. They're like, you don't have a following. So it was just kind of disrespectful, but I had bought this at the time and it smells amazing. It did come with a little butterfly clip, which I did lose. That's not, I did lose. And this is supposed to be like a butterfly tea toner. It's supposed to help beautify your skin, make your makeup last all day. And I tried it twice and I never went back for it ever again. It smells amazing, but it didn't do anything for my skin but make me super, super oily. So this is something that I highly, highly, highly suggest passing on. The next one is actually from MAC, and it's their Fix It Matte. It's their Fix Plus Mattifying Spray. I tried this so much to get it to work, and I couldn't. First off, the spray is like broken. Oh, now you want to work? Before, it used to shoot out like as a single freaking jet. See, there it is, as a single jet. It smells so good. I love the way that MAC Fix Pluses smell. They smell so freaking good. But this one, literally, it just, so you guys can't tell right there, it shot out like a freaking jet. It used to wet my face like there's no tomorrow, and it never mattified my face. My face would get super freaking oily. My skin like just looked weird, and you can see like little dots on my foundation where this actually sprayed. So I stopped using it because it just never made me mattified, and it just made my face super freaking wet. But I wish I would have loved this because it smells so, so good. But definitely, if you're oily, don't. No. The next product is from Laura Lee. This is her favorite brushes collection from Morphe. Now, I remember purchasing this. I remember being at the dentist when this came out, and I purchased it because I got really, really excited because it's her 11 ride or die brushes. And I bought this, and I tried out like that Y11 like face brush that she was so obsessed with. But let me show you something that's really embarrassing. Tried it, the face brush, disappointed by it, so I never bothered trying the rest of these. They literally have been sitting in my drawers for 2 years, wrapped up, or even longer than 2 years, I think 3 years at this point, wrapped up in its nice little case, like so, never gets used. Why? because I think I was so disappointed by that YXL Morphe brush, like that face brush you talked about. Oh, M6, Y6, whatever it was really disappointing. So I never bothered trying to reach for the rest of them. I think after that point, I started trying out Jaclyn Hill brushes. I started trying out other Morphe brushes, and then I found my bling brushes. I really like the Luxie brushes. Those are really good. Oh, and Real Techniques has some amazing brushes as well. So I think that's why I never really geared more towards those brushes. I think at some point I'll have to unwrap them and give them a try. But yeah, that was a waste of my money. The next product is from Kylie Cosmetics. It's the Baby It's Cold Outside lip collection right here. I did a video on this last year, and that was like, that video right there was horrible. I came back from the Jaclyn Hill event. I didn't really know how to properly do videos back then, and I did a review on this. It got quite a bit of views. Why? I don't know. But I did this right here, and I tried them all out, and I just tried them that one time in the video, and I never, ever, ever reached for them ever again. I think because they're so miniature, and I didn't want to fall in love with a product that was just geared for a holiday collection and not actually released for any other sort of individual buy. I feel like that's why I didn't really care for them. I feel like I tried out these lip kits and then I just get really disappointed in them, or I really like them, but I'm like, oh, they're so tiny, I'm gonna lose them. So I only bought these at one time. It was a really pretty collection. I did enjoy doing them. I thought the colors were pretty, but the ones that I really love, I buy myself. Like right now, I am wearing the Kylie Cosmetics Savage Liquid Lip, the prettiest freaking liquid lip ever, but I top with my Fenty Beauty. It's my go-to, but I love her products. Just her little miniatures. They're just not worth the price point, personally. Next, we have, again, more lip products right here. Once again, these are from the ABH. These were a holiday collection or like a fall collection. I purchased these. I don't even know if I even tried them all out. I couldn't even tell you. I realized I'm not the biggest fan of little miniatures. I just don't do very well with them. I feel like I try them out. I do swatches, and then I'm just kind of like, you know? So these were really cool. They're pretty, but something that I'd never gravitate to. And I don't know why I never got rid of them. I think because they're ABH is probably never why I got rid of them, but I never did. The next one is from Dominique Cosmetics. It is her, it's her Lemonade glosses right here. I bought these a part of her kit when she launched the Lemonade collection, and I find that these lip glosses are way too sticky. They do not look the best on the skin because they're just pretty much lip toppers. They don't really give you any sort of full coverage or any sort of like pretty, beautiful, luxurious lips. That's why I never geared towards these. I remember BoxyCharm actually put one of these in there, and I remember doing a giveaway with it because I was like, there's no way. Like, they're not good formula at all. Next, we have these two Morphe liquid lips right here. Now, I got these as a recommendation because Jaclyn Hill recommended them. One of these is in the shade Virgin. I think Virgin is just too light for my taste. It's a very like nude, like a nude pink, but a little bit too nudie, or like a little bit too light pink, where it makes me like my lips look a little bit too pale. So that's why I don't like it. And the other one is the shade Pop. I tried this because someone recommended it, and though the formula is okay, it's definitely not the best formula. They're a great price point, but I bought it because Jaclyn Hill told me to, and I just really disappointed. All right, last but not least, we do have some palettes right here. Now, this is not because of anything going on, but one of the first things I really regret buying is this mini Jawbreaker palette from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. Not because he's in any sort of drama or anything like that, but it is the color scheme. If you guys look at the color scheme right here, these are colors that I'd never really play with. You guys can see that I swatched that color right there, but I actually didn't purchase this for myself. Whenever this launch came to be, my beautiful fiance Corey bought them for me. He really wanted me to have the entire collection, so he bought this palette for me. It is a very, very expensive palette. It's like $29 for 9 shadows, which is just outrageously priced for me. And though they perform well, they're beautiful, these are like colors that I'm never, ever, ever gonna play with. And I received this 2 more times because of a mystery box. He kept putting these in mystery boxes, and I kept doing giveaways with it because I do not need it. I do not play with it, but the only reason why I have actually kept this palette is because of the fact that it is a staple in my collection, and I love having like a full collection, like a full kit if I can do that. So I'm never gonna get rid of it, but it's one of those things I'm just never gonna play with. Speaking of that, another one is the Mini Controversy palette right here from Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star. This palette right here is unbelievably gorgeous. I love the packaging. I think it's so beautiful. But when you actually open up the palette itself, again, these are colors that I'm not going to really play with. I'll probably play with the 2 blues, And that's it. I think the color scheme in this palette is frankly not pretty whatsoever. And I think the reason why I liked it at first was because of the fact that this was such a huge launch. I mean, like literally it broke the internet. I was there at this launch at freaking 4 a.m. in the morning trying to get my hands on this. And I'm really grateful that I did that video. It almost had 100,000 views on it. Insane. And I grew like by 5,000 subscribers. Now, majority of those subscribers did flutter away because it was a giveaway they were there for, not for me. But I've never played with this palette. It's just, the color scheme is just not pretty, and it just doesn't make sense to me. The color scheme just doesn't really have a cohesive flow, and I feel like that's why I didn't like it, because I want color schemes in a palette that's gonna have a cohesive flow where I can go, oh, I could do this, 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 and this. And here I'm just like, no, I really don't see it. And last but not least, the last one that I do honestly regret buying. I get asked all the time if this palette is worth it, and I tell people, no. Now, was it worth it for my video? Yeah, I have no shame in saying that. I think the packaging on this is absolutely beautiful. I really love the packaging. I love the design. I love the concept. But this palette, I literally only played with one time. One time, and that was in my video that I did. But when you guys look right here, once again, I don't understand the color scheme. I just really don't get it. It just doesn't scream out to me. It doesn't make me excited. I don't get it. I think the color scheme is just so jumbled, and I just think that it's kind of an ugly palette. If I'm being completely honest with you, it's really ugly, and I was so excited to get my hands on this, but there's only a few shadows in here that I will actually play with. The rest, I'm like, it's boring. Personally, and I know some people out there are gonna disagree with me, but I feel like Jeffree Star Cosmetics had made such better palettes. Like, I really love the Blue Bud palette, I love Blood Sugar, I really love the Thirsty palette, the Alien palette, and I really like Bloodlust. I feel like those are some amazing palettes. They have a wonderful color scheme. They really flow together. They're very concise, and this right here just doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't make sense. It's kind of jumbled, so it's why like I play with it that one time, and then I shut it, and I was like, I'm never gonna play with it again. I had no regrets making the video, but it sucks because I literally spent like $400 on this whole collection. I spent $400 on this whole collection to buy myself the pig mirror, the bag, to buy both palettes, to buy all 6 lip stuff, which by the way is actually sitting right over there. And again, if I could go ahead and add those, I just don't want to bring it down. All those lip ones right there, I also again regret buying because I have not touched them. They've literally been sitting there, not opened. I've played with it that one time in the video, and I have not played with them ever since because all the colors in there just don't scream out to me. Some of them are way too bright pink, or just not like, or like that weird bronzy green shade. That's not a realistic shade that someone's gonna wear every single day. Yes, you can use Jeffree Star products to use as an eyeshadow, as an eyeliner. You can mix it into blush, whatever you guys want to do. He's very, very creative. But those colors just don't scream out to me. They're too pale, too far out there, and it's just something that's not an everyday use. And while that video was hugely successful on my channel, I'm very, 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 very grateful for that. I have not played with these ever since. Just I really, really haven't. So that is why they're on this list. I'm grateful that they're here, but they were definitely a waste of money because I did spend, like I said, spend $400. Half of that was spent on me. The other half was for a giveaway because I gave away the full collection. I gave away these 2 bad boys right here, a freaking mirror, and 6 lip glosses or lipsticks, whatever they were. I gave away the whole collection, and that was my biggest eye-opener too, because I remember, like I said, I grew by like 5,000 subscribers, but I lost so many when the giveaway was up, and I just felt so bad about myself because not only was I losing hundreds and hundreds of Instagram followers, I was just bleeding, and I was just bleeding YouTube subscribers at that time, and it was really put me in a really bad mental space. And it wasn't until I did my Vlogmas I was able to get out of my funk, because I really just felt bad. I felt like I was just used, and I wasn't good enough as a YouTuber because people were just here for a giveaway, and that was my own mistake. That was my own mistake for sure. But it happened. It was a big life lesson for me, and I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't for it. So I mean, there is that. But yeah, like I said, I mean, these may have worked out for you guys. These may have worked in your benefit. They just weren't something that's best for me. These are products that I've tried once, maybe twice, and haven't touched ever since. While they're still in my collection, well, I'm a hoarder and I have a hard time separating myself from some things, but ultimately I find that these were not worth myself. Now, if they were ultimately I find these are just not worth it. Now, if they work for you, that is amazing, but they just don't work for me, and that is completely okay. If you guys want me to do like a full face using these products, please let me know in the comments below. I'm sure there's plenty more stuff in my collection that I'm just kind of like, ooh, I shouldn't have bought you. But if you guys want me to do like a full face of makeup products that I hate, let me know in the comments below. So yeah, guys, that is it for today's video, guys. If you guys like this video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already, because I do post every other day, just depending. Also, make sure you guys head over to my other channels, R for Life. You guys can see my cool, wonderful adventures, amazing fiance Corey. And as always, I just want to thank you guys for all your love and support. I'll see you guys in the next video or tomorrow's video, whichever. Bye, guys.